Howdy everybody, welcome to the pond. My name is Brett and I'm going to be reviewing the new Julianna Barwick and Mary Lattimore record titled Tragic Magic. Let me start off by saying this is a pairing that is a match made in heaven. Literally, I think both of these artists died, met up in heaven, and because their souls are too pure, they were given a second chance. And Tragic Magic is a retelling of that whole experience. But seriously, these two are the definition of compatible. Each artist has their own world building of meditative and ethereal soundscapes that just help you dissociate at the drop of a hat. Mary Lattimore, of course, has been paving the way for modern harpists with her neoclassical pluckings. Ooh, it's like I'm back in RuneScape. And while Julianna Barwick brings her like soft mist of choral-esque vocals floating over ambient backdrops. As the streaming notes detail, this album was recorded over 9 days in none other than the Philharmonie de Paris. Yo, oui, oui. I mean, come on, how much more mystique can we get? Oh wait, I'm hearing now that this was co-produced by Roger Eno, who is, if you don't know, Brian Eno's brother, and even the fantasy-styled album art here is just sucking me in. It's very simplistic. I mean, you just have the two mystical artists themselves and like their pastoral forest biome, and then I'm here looking at that thinking, okay, now I gotta get a sneak peek behind the wardrobe into the land of Narnia. You may be able to tell I have a great respect for both of these artists, and the fact of them coming together just made this record highly anticipated for me. And Tragic Magic is sadly only 7 songs long, but we can get right into it. It opens up with the song Perpetual Adoration. An endearing and uplifting handful of soft measures immediately set the tone to this project. There's like this loop of care and reverence for something greater. It details the feeling of love. It's bright, it's peaceful. This song is like you're in the meadows, lying around dandelions, like forged positive memories spawn. Lattimore's deliberate melodies and Barwick's elevated choral delivery promote joy in general. It's a fantastic opener and a very bright-eyed one. The album imagery alongside the title of the next track, The Four Sleeping Princesses, paints a true picture where the music matches right up with it. It's graceful and straightforward, but with the slightly darker undertone brought upon by Barwick's layered vocals sitting a little bit in a lower register alongside some sour synth notes. It kind of portrays the magic of a Disney princess environment while also nodding to the darker themes behind many of those stories. In this track, there's a continuous melody, like softly being built upon and telling a story through its gentle crescendo. Now, I'll admit, I'm not the biggest film buff, and I say that because the next song, Rachel's Song, is a retelling of a track from the original soundtrack of Blade Runner created by composer Vangelis. And after listening to the original, the similarities are quite clear, though the original feels a bit more hushed for cinematic purposes, while here Barwick kind of takes her vocals a bit more to the forefront, and they just carry so much beautiful weight alongside its harmonious melody. It's a very respectful showing placed in the same light as the original and a standout on this record. Now, there are definitely some downfalls to this project. I think one of them is showcased in the next track, Haze with No Haze, as it's probably the least interesting of the bunch, mostly because it feels like a retread of tonality and just the overall sound of the project, and just feels like the base floor of what these two artists can bring to the table. That being said, if you're still looking for more spiritual ASMR, it's still another portal waiting to be entered. But actually, the real tragedy of this project is that the next one, Temple of Winds, which feels right out of a Legend of Zelda video game, and this song is one of my favorites here, is it's like only 2 minutes long. But I mean, in such a short time, it just hits with this neoclassical, nostalgic tone that steals my breath and sense of wonder. I'm booking a plane ticket right now to like the European mountains and putting this thing on blast. It feels like it belongs at like the end credits to some epic film or video game. Again, I just wish it carried on a bit longer and built it on itself further, because this is just such a gem here. But it is followed up with some lengthier tracks to close out this project. I mean, welcome to the twilight zone of fantasy drone music that is the song Stardust. You can lay your head down and forget about all your problems, as you're just stardust, don't you know? And that's what this track like whispers to me when listening to it. The slight buzzsaw of stop and go synths by Barwick feel galactic yet grounded, while the sprinkles of Lattimore's harp make it sound like it's legit snowing sound. Oh, it feels ever so pleasant. There's a really nice buildup of these dream poppy drum loops, which are like the only sense of percussion you'll hear across this album, and they sail the song off into the Undying Lands. And those Undying Lands close out the record with the track Melted Moon. Here you have a staple cavernous sound from Mary Lattimore, as if it's winter, you're in Russia in some cave somewhere and just listening to little delectable things. And Barwick brings back her vocals, which is a nice touch here and warranted for a final send-off. Tragic Magic is a fantasy love letter between two artists who clearly have a deep admiration for one another. It plays like a serene cinematic score with a few different paths to it, all existing under the same like spiritual umbrella. It's not the pinnacle, I would say, of either artist's careers, and honestly, it may have deserved a little bit more time in the kitchen. Like I've stated before, a track here or there, or just some moments, can just feel like the base level of what these two artists could bring to the table. I swear, if you gave these two like a couple years to produce something great, it might be like the next Bible in terms of soundscapes. That's how big and spiritual the record would be. I might just start levitating after listening to it. And this album's only 7 tracks long, which might feel like an injustice. It feels a little to me, but that's just generally how these artists operate. Still, if you're familiar with any of these two here, you know this is very easy on the ears. Get yourself a pillow, just lie down and escape. It's absolutely worth your time, at least a little bit. I've seen both artists live, and while crossing over just these notes in general for this review, I made sure to get my tickets for their upcoming show in Chicago, because I feel like my body will just be entirely cleansed in the presence of these two artists, and them probably playing through this record. Kind of package these two bring is the kind of serenity, spirituality that like only comes along so often. And if you're looking to feel cleansed, check out Tragic Magic and let yourself just be a little spellbound. Step into the beautiful aspects of like the elvish part of Lord of the Rings, not the scary orc Mount Doom stuff. We none of that around here. And so yes, I didn't particularly fall in love with the whole thing, but it's just a gem. These two artists are great in their own right, and together just make something magical nevertheless. And I'll be giving it spins for some time now until the end of the year, and just be hoping for another collab in the future. My name is Brent. Thanks for sticking around the pond, and come back later, why don't you, for some more music reviews and recommendations. Peace.